All right. Hey. So JoVonne Walker here, and I want to talk to you today about 4 things you need to have in place when you are trying to seek funding. All right. And I'm not talking about any type of funding. I'm not just talking about one specific type of funding. I'm talking about investors. I'm talking about bank funding. I'm talking about sponsorships. I'm talking about in-kind donations. I'm talking about even grants, for that matter. All right. So this is why I'm saying this, because oftentimes what happens is everybody wants funding for their business. I understand it. This situation in terms of business development, growth, entrepreneurship, small business, big business, whatever, you hit moments where you're going to need funds. Or you might hit moments where it's like, hey, I'm sick and tired of using my own funds to fund my business. I have to use other people's money. And so I'm in the space of helping you understand that you can use other people's money for the betterment of your business, but you have to know how to do it and do it the right way. So here's the number one thing. I believe the important thing is understanding exactly what it is that you want funded. Just saying that I need funds for my staff is okay. It's a need, but what is it within the staff? How is it going to help impact, grow, develop your business, this community around you, the community that you serve once you get more of this funding? So most funders want to see that even though they're going to give you money they may give you money for your cause of whatever your cause may be, your business, your nonprofit, your project, your program, your events, or what have you. They want to see how it's going to be of betterment to the community, or it's going to impact the community, what it's going to do to help more people, change lives, transform opportunities, transform neighborhoods, all that stuff. They really want to see that. So it's like, hey, I need money for my business. Yes, who doesn't? But at the same time, if you give me money for my business, this is what's going to happen to the universe as a result of this. This is what's going to happen in the community in which we're in, or which I serve, as a result of this. So be extremely specific in terms of how that's going to benefit both you, your organization, as well as community as a whole, and which eventually will benefit the funder as well. Right? It's got to be mutually beneficial for everybody involved. All right. So number 2 is this: understanding how to really dig deeper, okay, in sharing what you are doing, right? Being specific. If your need is, I need chairs, tell them how many chairs you need. Be specific in terms of what that need is. The thing is, I always believe in that, is that a closed mouth does not get fed. All right. So if a closed mouth does not get fed, then you're not going to get the funds that you are hoping for, because you never told them what you were really going to be using it for. So you really have to tell them exactly how you're going to be using it. Now, I know this is more important for grants than for other funds, but oftentimes other funders would like to see exactly how this is going to be used, because they're going to be putting this money in your pocket, right? So that they can eventually see that overall impact that you said you're going to make. So how are you going to be using these funds? Talk about it and be specific about it. All right. No under the table, shady type of situation going on. You want to be upfront, open, honest, transparent about what you are doing with those monies that you're going to be receiving. All right. So 3rd thing is this: people. It's all about people. So when you're getting funding, it's not about just you getting funding for your organization, your nonprofit, for-profit, or whatever. It's also about you establishing relationships with others. All right. Establishing relationships with the community in which you're serving, establishing relationships with the funders that you're seeking funds from, whether it is the bank, whether it is grant funders, attending meetings that they're having, going to information sessions, getting to know them, letting them know that you're there, letting them know that this is what you're doing in the community to impact, this is what you're doing in the community to serve, and showing up in those spaces so that they can always remember that you were there. it gives you a better light, and it builds your credibility to say like you really are about what you say you're about. It shows that you are in this to win this, but it's not about you just trying to get over and trying to get something out of this. No, you're really consistent about building more income, building more traction financially for your business to grow, for your nonprofit to develop, to impact, all that stuff. So whatever you are on the spectrum of business is going to help you to platform that level of business, all right, and that level of service that you're providing. All right, so you got the people side of things. Now it's talk about, all right, what are you bringing to these people? Are you telling them about what you're doing? Are you clear in terms of how you tell people about what you're doing? I'm big in terms of understanding that you have a mission. And when you understand that you have a mission, then you can go about telling people easily what that mission is without fail. It's your biggest marketing tool. So as you're building your relationships, you've already told them about the mission, but at the same time, do you have something that they can follow up with you on, right? Do you have either a proposal of some sort? Do you have a deck of some sort? Do you have information that they can share with their counterparts and their colleagues and their those that they're connected to, so that they can continue to build out the promotion of what you're doing, the awareness of what you're doing? Do you have something that talks about what your brand is about, your nonprofit, whatever it is? It is important. So for some, if it's in the grant space, if you're doing a grants proposal, that's one, right? If you're doing a pitch deck for sponsorships or community partnerships, that's another. If you have a one pager just talking about the mission of your organization and even those that you've impacted and the lives that are changed, that's another. If you're doing videos and talking about it and posting on your social media, your website, all that stuff, these are things that help you to grow overall. They help you to understand how you can navigate the business arena. They help you to market your mission. They help you to make mention of what you're doing in any arena possible. You need a lot of that. If you don't know this, marketing is about 80% of your business model. So if you're not talking about it, who is? And if you aren't the one that's starting off and talking about it, who is? Now, once you start talking about it, other people can start talking about it, but you got to be the first person to start talking about it. And you have to show up in those spaces to make that happen and pass out information that you have to, even if it's passing something digitally, you got to pass that information out. All right. So it's important to know these 4 things. It is to know exactly what your program, your project, or your event is and how it impacts the community. It is important to know exactly how you are utilizing those funds, would be utilizing those funds specifically to impact the community. Another thing is to really make sure you are building that connectivity with the people. People is the name of the game. You can achieve so much more when you build relationships. When you are solid in your relationship building, it takes you a long way. And number 4, the biggest thing is making sure that whatever you're pushing out there, whether it is paper, whether it's digital, that it has a clear message about your mission and what you're offering, and why people should be involved in what you're doing. That's all I have to share with you for today. I think that is very important. I think it's key. I think you're going to be on the right path to gaining the interest, the positioning, and the growth that you need for your organization overall. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.